This video will cover Prisma High School, everything you need to know at a high level. I'd like us to look at how Prisma works through the lens of different real learners' experiences. So I'd like to introduce you to three very different Prisma learners, one of whom is a graduate, two of whom are at Prisma currently, and show you what their experience has been like. So you can see real examples of projects, real internships, real university application and admittance experiences. And so first I'd like to start with Story. So Story is interested in science. Very early on in the high school experience, was drawn to medical and public health angles in science, very much a purpose-led builder type of personality. So designed her own custom honors path around global health and clean water, for example, built a children's mental health app through one of her projects that she's now carried into an ongoing business project, and is always turning her personal experience into real-world impact goals. Also, I want to introduce you to Arden. So Arden was struggling, frankly, underperforming at their past high school, came to Prisma, had a massive turnaround, really thrived. A big part of that was the flexibility of Prisma, no longer commuting an hour each way to high school with tons of homework load that wasn't meaningful or adding value, and instead had a lot of opportunities for real-world internships, real jobs in theater. Arden led stage production, costume design for real productions in New England, and was admitted to Carnegie Mellon through that self-knowledge and all that clarity of craft that was developed in their Prisma experience. And then also, Hagen is this kind of technical builder type of personality. He's a global learner, typically based in Europe, and is passionate about coding, interested in like ciphers and system design. He's built real software, including software that Prisma actually uses. There's this AWS hosted Slack app that he built that we use. He's also published Minecraft mods that have over 200,000 downloads, for example, and is learning and working globally while teaching others to code. So you can see three very different learners, but I want to revisit these guys through this conversation together. I think it's important to start with what's most exceptional and unique about Prisma, and that is our coaches. Teens need mentors who challenge them, who invest in them, who really see them and motivate them to do their best and connect them with opportunities that will foster their growth. When you think about the teachers who were most impactful in your life, where did you grow beyond what you thought was possible? Chances are that person didn't just teach you different techniques, like they saw something new, they pushed you when you wanted to quit, they celebrated your breakthroughs, right? And so Prisma coaches fill this role both academically and personally. All of our coaches, in addition to being highly educated themselves, are also just exceptional humans. So, Teacher of Promise awardee, Fulbright Scholar to Norway, and people who are just thriving and joyful, in love with life, and then just oozing that joy and curiosity and spark, right, into teens. The way the model works enables each learner to be known and seen and invested in to a degree of depth that's unparalleled. Prisma is all about building a sense of agency in learners and that self-knowledge to understand what are my passions, what are my areas of interest, and then the opportunities to grow those real-world skills today. So now let's look at Prisma's project-based learning model, and let's start with themes. So a theme at Prisma is a 12-week project-based deep dive where learners are tackling this complex real-world challenge, right? This is the kind they're going to face in their actual careers. So the way you as a learner experience Prisma is interdisciplinary. So different academic subjects and competencies are interwoven in these Prisma themes. And we also map all of that out to the traditional conventional way of subject-based credit areas. So when you graduate from Prisma, you will have earned your 4 English credit, right? 9th through 12th grade English. You can earn all of that with honors. There's an honors track for everything. 4 math credits, your 4 science credits, your social studies, art, technology, philosophy, fitness and wellness, foreign language, right? It's all built in. And the way we actually experience those are via these Prisma themes. So we have a 4-year map of themes at Prisma. For example, in 9th grade or 10th grade, you might see the habitable zone. That's where you're hitting your chemistry credit. In 12th grade, maybe you're hitting a technology credit through Control-Alt-Revolution, for example. So you can see you earn that literacy credit throughout the year, your math throughout the year. You can see in junior year, this is an example of junior year, right? You might have some dual enrollment, some AP, some electives. You would be in Prisma's LaunchPad program. You'd be doing a year-long capstone project. So you can see over the course of your 11th grade year with Prisma, you'd hit a fully economics credit, a full technology credit, a full government credit through these interdisciplinary themes, like propose a policy, in which learners identified a law or policy that they wanted to change or create, and then dove into that in the project-based aspect of the theme. Prisma's curriculum includes all the content that's required to get course credit, and we actually mapped the 4th grade through graduation curriculum trajectory at Prisma, and we connected every competency and standard, everything that you would be expected to learn in a traditional environment, both US, UK, and Australian standards. And then we connected that to all the Prisma themes and the way that we do our competencies here, and everything is covered. So it is fully comprehensive. All of your Prisma courses will prepare you for university level rigor and content, and that accredited Prisma transcript and diploma sets you up to be able to apply to university anywhere in the world, including beyond the United States. At Prisma, you have daily workshops, Monday through Thursday. These workshops are not droning, pre-recorded, boring lectures, right? Every learner is interacting and collaborating virtually with their cohort peers and with their Prisma coaches. The workshops are connected to that session's theme. They include anything from, say, a Socratic discussion or a debate to a design thinking challenge. And each one is designed to be meaningful and very high value. One example of a Prisma theme is called the Future of Health. In that theme, you earn a biology credit. That theme looks at how science can transform healthcare. So you're tackling real-world medical challenges through innovation and empathy. So some learners designed AI-powered prosthetics. Another developed an app to support a patient with a chronic illness. There's a hands-on exploration of genetics, bioethics, patient-centered design. And in literacy, learners analyzed Frankenstein. So they rewrote key scenes to examine ethical dilemmas that remain relevant today. And that theme challenged learners to explore the intersection of science, humanity, and responsibility. So let's look at Story. She did the Future of Health theme during her sophomore year, and she leaned into her own personal experience with childhood anxiety. And she created the product that she wishes she would have had as a child. She made an app and she called it MindMate. And now she's even considering studying global health in university, which is something she wasn't interested in before tackling this project. Mind over Machine is a Prisma theme in which learners earn a full technology credit. That theme explores how AI shapes our world, and should AI have rights? So in Mind Over Machine, learners explored the promises and the perils of artificial intelligence. Some developed AI-powered tools. Others wrote speculative fiction about technology's rise. In literacy, learners analyzed film as a predictive medium. They write critical essays on how directors use storytelling to explore ethical dilemmas of technology. And in this theme, I want to look at Hagen specifically. He requested advanced personalization and coursework to go deeper than the default technical tracks in this theme, and he modified Mind Over Machine to focus on hands-on model work. He chose coding and local model experimentation over no-code AI customization. Please don't hear this and think, eek, like I could never do that, because you definitely can. Each Prisma theme moves from foundational understanding to a sophisticated application. So this progression mirrors the way experts in any field develop mastery. And this is personalized, right? So what are you into? When you connect the learning to what you are into, what lights you up and what you're excited about, if you chase your own curiosity, right, and see where that leads, and you do that in partnership with expert coaches who are going to mentor you and connect you with resources, then you will be absolutely astonished at what you're capable of. Workshops at Prisma are facilitated by academic coaches. These coaches have expertise in different subject matter areas. So we have content coaches. This is maybe a science or technology expert coach who's facilitating a science theme. We have social studies and or humanities specialist coaches that facilitate history, civics, and cultural focused themes. And then we have literacy coaches who specialize in either 9th, 10th grade or 11th and 12th grade developmental levels, and they work across all themes to integrate sophisticated writing and communication skills. These academic coaches facilitate twice weekly theme-based workshops, and they provide all learners in that theme with feedback on their asynchronous work. Each session culminates with Expo Day presentations. So Expo Day provides learners with an authentic audience for their final projects. The presentations showcase not just what they created, but how you apply the Prisma powers throughout your learning journey. We believe that fluent reading and writing are foundational to meaningful work in any field. So, at Prisma, literacy develops through this authentic practice with real audiences and real purposes. So, you might write a policy proposal for a local government official in the Propose a Policy theme. You might create professional business communications for a startup pitch in the Build a Business theme. This real world writing happens alongside traditional academic formats like analytical essays and research papers that you'll need to master for future success. There are weekly literacy journal tasks that integrate reading and build toward a writing in product that connects with the theme's context. And there are live literacy lab workshops that incorporate instruction in key skills, collaborative writing exercises, book discussions, and opportunities to share your work with peers. In addition to this integrated theme-based work, you're engaging with long-form books each session. So you're choosing from a curated selection of texts that align with your theme's focus. They allow for both choice and thematic coherence. You also can elect to participate in advanced honors book clubs beyond the core reading program. The literacy track in each theme culminates with a literacy showcase. So you get to present your writing in a celebratory environment. Throughout your high school journey, you're continuously updating again your portfolio with your strongest literacy pieces that then creates this personalized record of your communication skills development, serving as a powerful tool for future opportunities, including university entrance essays. We approach mathematics as both an essential life skill and as a powerful way of thinking about the world. So mathematical thinking, it shows up everywhere, from computer scientists who use algorithms and data analysis, to artists who apply geometric principles and proportional reasoning, to business leaders who rely on statistical analysis and financial modeling, to scientists across all fields. They depend on mathematical tools to understand complex phenomena. Math at Prisma operates on its own calendar, separate from the 12-week theme sessions. That allows learners to progress through mathematical concepts at a pace that's right for them. And the math course options are incredibly personalized. So first, we want to meet you where you are right now. And we want to accelerate your progress toward and beyond those grade level expectations. One of our Prisma seniors recently was taking Calculus 4 via dual enrollment, earning high school and university level course credits simultaneously, and is now in an aerospace engineering program. Another one of our seniors did a 2-year path for algebra and they moved into geometry their junior year. We have pre-calculus, AP calculus, data science, mathematical foundations of personal finance, and several other interesting courses that you might choose depending upon what pathway you're excited about. All of our learners participate in live synchronous math workshops that are aligned with their math courses. So the workshops include direct instruction as well as collaborative inquiry-based activities. In the live workshops, you're building conceptual understanding of these math concepts. You're improving your critical thinking skills. You're building a positive math mindset. So math is useful. It's worthwhile. It connects to the real world, and persistence in learning math does pay off. Our math coaches also provide specialized support through office hours, through targeted feedback, and connecting with each learner's overall academic plan. Learners complete their asynchronous math work via a mastery-based adaptive math program that includes examples, instructional videos, and practice opportunities via a personalized learning path. Once you've reached mastery, then you get a Prisma performance task and you get that real-world application. So there's a task that assesses your conceptual understanding, your critical thinking at the conclusion of a module, and it makes the real-world connection with the content. Let's now look at Prisma's approach to assessment, grading, and transcripts. And I think it's important to start with what's the actual purpose of grades? At Prisma, we believe assessment should serve 3 primary purposes. Learners should understand what specific skills have been mastered. We should be able to track growth in those abilities over time and understand the learner's progress in the context of their peers and goals for their development. So at Prisma, you do earn traditional letter grades. You have a traditional GPA, but you get there in a much more authentic, research-backed, and learner-driven way. At Prisma, you as a learner grade yourself first. So you complete a comprehensive grade reflection at the end of a session where you're evaluating your own work against the competencies that are provided to you, and you're providing specific academic evidence that supports your own assessment of your work. Then your coaches are coming along and they're reviewing your evidence. They're collaborating with you to assign final competency scores. So this result gives you genuine understanding both of your strengths and of your areas for growth. Throughout each session, you have the option of pursuing honors pins. So there's this menu of optional challenges amp it up, let's say, and if you earn a sufficient number of honors pins during a session, your GPA for that credit is elevated from a 4.0 to a 5.0 GPA scale. We believe authentic learning happens through iteration, that process of receiving feedback, reflecting, and improving your work. So you're not just turning something in, getting a grade, and moving on, right? You're continually turning in work, getting feedback on it, revising to do your personal best, collaborating with your peers, getting new ideas, bringing that back to the table. Say in the future you want to be an entrepreneur. You're refining your business plan based on investor feedback. Maybe you're a product designer and you're going to iterate prototypes based on user testing. Meaningful work evolves through drafts and revisions, right? So learning to accept and incorporate feedback is going to help you develop persistence, perspective, and resilience that is essential for you to navigate challenges throughout your professional life. At Prisma, revision is built into every step of your learning process. So your academic coach or your literacy coach is going to give you detailed feedback throughout each session. It's going to serve multiple purposes for you, right? So it's going to correct misconceptions. It's going to push you to research further, to deepen your thinking. It'll acknowledge and celebrate your growth too. And it'll give you inspiration for that next step, that next leap. So the result of this innovative approach is a very conventional transcript that is easy for university admissions officers to immediately understand. You can see your courses taken, your credits earned, your GPA. We do it this way because it's incredibly important that universities understand Prisma's approach to grading. So that's why the transcripts use the exact same format and language that admissions officers see from traditional schools. The difference, though, is that our grading system represents genuine mastery rather than just points accumulation. During your time at Prisma, you'll take the NWA MAP assessment, which is a growth-based assessment for math and reading. And on average, learners who stay with Prisma for at least a year are consistently demonstrating 176% of expected growth in reading and 206% of expected growth in math. Prisma learners also sit for external exams that are required for university entrance, for example, ACT or SAT exams, and have incredibly high scores. On average, they're performing 28% above the US national average, so that's the 93rd percentile. Let's go into some of the very real-world skills-driven aspects of Prisma. So Life Skills and LaunchPad, these are complementary programs. They connect and they lead into each other. Life Skills is building the self-awareness, the self-knowledge, and interpersonal skills, and then LaunchPad is transforming that knowledge into actionable future planning. Here are some of the competencies and subtopics that Life Skills covers. So knowing yourself, self-knowledge development for adult decision-making, understanding your personal strengths and interests, identifying what are my values, what are my preferences, building foundational skills for future planning and goal setting. Also knowing others, so interpersonal skills and relationship building, communication strategies, empathy development, collaborative problem solving. And through this, you actually tackle other skills like media literacy, evaluating information, recognizing cognitive biases, understanding how media influences perception, developing critical thinking around information sources, for example. Basic adulting skills, so like cooking, financial responsibility, time management, independence building skills, and then health. So wellness understanding, making informed health decisions, managing stress, building healthy lifestyle habits. The format of these can be debates and discussions, real-world simulations, group projects, mini challenges. And the goal throughout is to prepare you to be ready to be a thriving adult beyond formal academics and even beyond the work world, like just being a thriving human in your adult life. In your upperclassmen experience at Prisma, your mentor coach will conduct regular check-ins with you. There are LaunchPad-focused checklists that will ensure your future planning stays integrated with your personal academic and personal development goals. And you also have a LaunchPad specialist coach who is going to walk you through everything in the university admissions process. So giving you guidance for everything from application essays to navigating financial aid and accommodations. As part of LaunchPad, in 11th grade, you are tackling a year-long capstone. That is this culminating project that's demonstrating those self-directed learning skills and your achievement of the Prisma powers. And the categories and options within that are incredibly open-ended. So it's accommodating a diverse variety of interests and really is your choice. You're researching your field of interest, interviewing professionals who are doing similar work, and you're creating a detailed project plan. You're implementing your project plan in partnership with your coach with regular check-ins as well as peer accountability partnerships. You're creating a portfolio and you're reflecting. So you're formalizing that experience through presentations, written reflections, and then you document your learning process comprehensively. The LaunchPad coach is going to provide mentorship throughout this entire capstone process, helping you navigate challenges, connecting you with community professionals, documenting your experiences in a way that's effective for university applications. And often learners discover that an essential piece of their capstone work becomes a core element of their personal statement or interview discussion when they're applying to university. Within this LaunchPad program, in senior year, you're focusing on executing the plans that you developed in 11th grade while having lots of hands-on career exploration opportunities through internships. So you're getting intensive college application support. You have detailed guidance for interviews, application deadlines, essay feedback, and the senior year internships focus gives you crucial hands-on experience that lets you try on different career directions before you commit to an expensive college or career training that's harder to change later. I want to show you some of the optional things that you can choose to amp up, deepen, and accelerate your learning at Prisma. Let's first cover Prisma's Merit Scholars track. As a Prisma Merit Scholar, you would be tackling the most intensive academic pathway. You'd have to sustain excellence across multiple areas, including your academics, service, and leadership, and you'd get a stamp on your diploma and transcript indicating that you're a Prisma Merit Scholar. Prisma also offers dual enrollment through a partnership with Arizona State University via their Accelerate program, and they get to earn official university college course credit while completing their high school education. Prisma also offers a variety of AP courses, advanced placement courses, which mirror introductory college courses. They are taught by Prisma coaches in-house, and there are options in advanced math, sciences, and humanities. These can afford university course credit upon successful completion of the AP exam. If you're motivated by making a positive difference and you want to make a real-world impact, you might like to apply for Prisma's Impact Fellowship. Impact Fellows at Prisma partner with Legacy Youth Leadership, and they develop an impact project with mentor support from the Legacy Youth Leadership Network. This program culminates with an Impact Day and an optional Impact Volunteer trip. And when you graduate from Prisma, that Impact Fellows badge is also on your transcript and diploma. Beyond the Impact Fellowship, you also can have very meaningful advocacy-based projects at Prisma or capstones, for example. So one of our learners who reflects this quite well is Vivian, who's a Prisma graduate. She's now at University of Hawaii. She earned a full ride scholarship in LaunchPad when she chose her capstone project. She chose to build an app that would help to identify food shortages around the Hawaiian Islands. And she showcased that project as part of her university application and in her advocacy portfolio. And now she's studying public policy and politics so that she can make an impact at a higher level. Now let's talk day in the life, structure, flexibility, logistics. So I'm going to show you a few sample schedules in a second so you can understand how Prisma might look for you. At the end of the day, there are as many different schedules as there are Prisma learners because every learner's schedule, priorities, interests, extracurriculars, they're different, right? Learners live in different time zones and collaborate across countries. So every learner has a combination of synchronous live time, that's interactive, engaging, dynamic. This is led by the Prisma coaches, as well as asynchronous learning, that's their personalized academics, and that's at a time of their choosing. The bridge across these experiences really is the Prisma coaches because they are both facilitating that live time and then offering that iterative feedback to each learner along the way. In addition to that, you have your mentor coach, and this is like your core person who is helping with goal setting, progress tracking, executive functioning growth, and they really are your one-on-one partner throughout your Prisma experience. So when we look at a typical day in the life or week in the life of a Prisma High School learner, we're looking at what time is live, done together with my cohort or my math group, what time is asynchronous at a time of my choosing, but it's the stuff I definitely need to get done, and when am I meeting with my mentor coach one-on-one for that deeper mentorship and goal setting, live, as well as getting asynchronous, independent feedback from coaches on my work, right? And then iterating and revising. And then in addition to that, what's all the optional stuff? So optional support like office hours and collaboration, as well as optional clubs and lounges and enrichments. And you have interactive workshops which have a different focus each day. So it might be a literacy focus, a theme focus, a LaunchPad workshop, for example. This is time to debate, discuss, connect, collaborate. And a lot of it are these like dynamic, interactive learning challenges. Sometimes you're working together on small teams. And then the independent side of your day, that's your personalized academics, your choice-based, interest-driven learning that maps to the academic competency standards and the courses that are right for you at the present moment. So you're spending typically 2 to 3 hours a day independently working on your theme project, working on your tasks in reading, writing, math, as well as your elective coursework. Fridays at Prisma are intentionally flexible. There are no live workshops that are required. Every learner uses that Friday in the way that works best for them and reflects what they need. The learner community at Prisma is incredibly fun and connected. Learners build authentic friendships that endure year over year. Prisma community really does start with your tight-knit peer cohort. So you are with the same Prisma peers all year long in your cohort as well as in your math group. And the interactions you're having, there's no lecture. So there's no teacher talking the whole time, right? You are connected, you're collaborating, you're working together on small teams, you're debating, discussing, dialoguing, sharing ideas, thinking critically together. And that allows you ample opportunity to form friendships. Many of those friendships are taken beyond Prisma, and learners meet up in real life. They travel to see one another. Their families go on trips together. There are learner endeavors, which are in person, like week-long events with other Prismarians. There are family endeavors where Prisma families will get together too. And there are a lot of virtual collaboration opportunities. Perhaps you want to be part of an honors book club, or you want to be in Model UN, or a cooking enrichment called Everyday Gourmet Lab, for example. And the other aspect of community is your relationship with your coaches. They really are lifting you up, challenging you, celebrating you, and getting to know you. So they genuinely care about what are you interested in, what are you passionate about, what are your emerging hobbies and skills and questions and curiosities. And that sense of being known and seen and cared about really drives academic outcomes and also is so important in that sense of feeling connected and like you're not alone in your learning experience day to day. What matters to us at Prisma is not just where our graduates go after high school, it's also what can they actually do once they're there. And this is where we focus on the Prisma powers. So those are those real world skills that we believe today's youth will need to thrive in the world and future that they are stepping into. Applied curiosity shows up when a learner doesn't wait to be told what to learn next, they go and find it. And so story, for example, is a perfect embodiment of this. You know, she advocated for her own custom honors pathway when the preset options didn't go deep enough. And then she drew these cross-domain connections between environmental science, public health, clean water, and put all of that into her impact fellowship project. And this is in partnership with her mentor coach, Alicia. Pretty early on in ninth grade, Story was showing a strong interest in medicine, biology, environmental conservation. Alicia is this role model who's helped Story through her high school experience really step into her potential. So Alicia found an honors pin opportunity for Story with this UNICEF module that was built for her interest. So it was like child health within the UN Sustainable Development Goals, for example. Alicia supported her in applying to the Minnesota Institute for Talented Youth. So she went to a cardiology camp for fun, and it was like 80 hours of coursework over 2 weeks at McAllister College. Then in her sophomore year, through that Future of Health theme, we talked about how she built the MindMate app, and that was in partnership with Alicia, challenging her. Then she signed up for the dual enrollment option we have through Arizona State University. She took an anatomy and physiology 4-credit college course. She signed up for the Impact Fellowship, and she's working now on that MindMate app in partnership with Legacy Youth Leadership, and is continuing to flesh out the Future of Health project that she did back in 10th grade. In her junior year, she did an internship with Techstars, which is a startup tech accelerator, thinking maybe she wants to be a business major because that would help her with entrepreneurship and building out this app. But she realized she wasn't in love with business, so that helped her find something she's not interested in, which is just as powerful as discovering what she is interested in, right? And so now she's most interested in studying global health. She's also studying health and nutrition as another dual enrollment class through ASU. So instead of picking classes that look good for university admissions, she's picking classes she's genuinely excited about and courses that are informing her future interests and goals. The Prisma Power of Communication and Collaboration is all about developing those communication skills, both oral and written, finding your authentic voice, and learning how to collaborate with others around shared goals. Arden is an exceptional example of communication and collaboration in practice. Arden, in high school, led collaborative, high-stakes theater productions with adults, navigated different professional roles, timelines, creative conflicts where she had to manage multiple real-world settings, developed comfort and confidence speaking as a peer with adults, not as a subordinate, even hiring adults as a high schooler, right? Then excelled in these elite admissions interviews due to that relational maturity that they developed, and then got comfortable using feedback productively to clarify her professional direction. I'm not interested in acting. I'm interested in design and production and the behind the scenes aspects of theater. And this is what happens when learners are coached rather than managed and taught, instead of information being distilled to them and then being lectured to, where they get to be collaboratively part of their learning experience. They are shaping their learning experience. Next, looking at innovators' mindset, we're focusing on skills like navigating a creative process, expressing your ideas in different formats, iterating to make your work the best it can possibly be. You want to be able to build creative solutions to problems and improve them through feedback. Here, I want to highlight Hagen. Hayden is always pushing the envelope on innovation in a more technical or engineering forward way. He's consistently rejected the default, easier pathways in favor of a deeper or more technical build out. He's designed and shipped real software with feedback from other Prisma learners in partnership with his Prisma coach. So he built a Slack app on AWS that we've already talked about. He's iterated through different blockers, experienced debugging and scale, and he's comfortable starting from a blank page and then making structural pivots as he goes. And Hagen, even today, as a high schooler, could be ready to step into a real-world dev or design team and make a positive, meaningful contribution. He also scores very highly in the UK-based codes and ciphers competition year after year. He's already learned and applied Scrum methodology in a professional setting, and he's leveraged the flexibility of Prisma to teach coding to younger learners at Prisma. He even leads a coding club for younger learners, reinforcing his own mastery through mentorship. And then lastly, initiative and follow through. So that's the ability to turn your dreams into reality by taking ownership, by doing your best, by taking productive, consistent action toward your goals. And here I want to again look at Arden. Initiative and follow through doesn't only look at the spark or the ignition, but it looks also at that sustained effort over time, and Arden does this beautifully. So Arden balanced a full-time theater internship with their academics, delivered large, complex productions on real deadlines, maintained valedictorian level performance while managing multiple obligations beyond Prisma, planned and executed a multi-year capstone and internship with coach support, and then followed through from that exploration to specialization and now exceptional outcomes in the post-secondary experience. So this is what real readiness looks like. Beyond academic readiness alone, when learners can manage and succeed with real multifaceted commitments, competing objectives and goals, and can manage their time, manage themselves, and take ownership of their goals, and then execute independently through effective planning, time management, and persistence. So we have three very different learners, three very different paths, but the same outcome, which is doors are open to these young people and they have the self-knowledge to know which doors and paths are right for them, and real-world concrete experiences along the way that are clarifying for them, what am I really interested in? What are my skills and passions? What do I want my lifestyle to look like? And each of them has personalized one-on-one coaching with real mentor relationships with these expert educators who are challenging them, supporting them, connecting them with opportunities. And these aren't exceptions. These are not edge cases. These are representative of the skills that our graduates walk away with. Prisma graduates don't just leave with options. They leave knowing how to manage themselves and their work, and they actively shape what comes next. Prisma is going to give you numerous opportunities to get to know yourself, to grow real skills and practice in real-world opportunities, so that when you then look toward the future in what comes after high school, you will not only be equipped, doors will not only be open to you, but you will be ready with the self-confidence, the real habits of work to thrive in that post-secondary experience, whatever that looks like for you uniquely.